YouTube? It's your girl Lex and we back with another video. As y'all see at the title of this video, I will be explaining my labor and delivery experience as first time mommy, first time everything, and I just want to explain to y'all how it went because I know some people want to know like personally from other people's opinions on how their went. And if y'all already know or if you don't know, I know most people already know I got induced at 37 weeks pregnant, so technically at this moment in time I could still be pregnant with my baby boy. That being said, I will tell y'all why I got induced at 37 weeks and also the process of my labor and delivery and how it went and stuff like that. So y'all stay tuned, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe and turn your notifications on, and y'all make sure you be tuned because there are going to be more videos being posted throughout the weeks. Just please be posted and look on social medias every time we start posting and dropping me and Kay. So I'll put me and Kay's couple page right here. Yeah, y'all, let's get started with this video. Okay, I really don't know how to start this off, but I guess I'll just start it off as in why I got induced at 37 weeks pregnant. So why I got induced at 37 weeks pregnant is because my doctors, the whole time I've been pregnant, y'all, I'm a small, petite, girly. My body just doesn't carry big. So my whole entire pregnancy, he was just a small baby inside me and stuff like that. Nothing was wrong with him, perfectly healthy baby boy. His percentile, once I went to get my first anatomy scan, my 21-week appointment, his percentile was below a 10 percentile. It was an 8 percentile. So that's already calling and measuring as a small baby and stuff like that. So they were kind of already planning on maybe inducing me at that point or not. But yeah, as my weeks got going on and on and on, at my 25-week appointment, his percentile had dropped to a 5. So basically from me being 25 weeks pregnant and on to 37 weeks pregnant, they had to monitor him like every week just to make sure and just look at him, see if he's growing properly. So yeah, that was the process of that. And then once they had found out he had dropped from an 8 to a 5, then that's when they kind of already decided, oh, we're probably going to induce you at 37 weeks pregnant. So I was like, okay, that's fine, because they said we just want baby to come out of you and grow a little bit faster outside the wound, just because you are a small, petite, girly, and he might not have enough space in there or something like that. But yeah, understandable. But as time was progressing, every time I went, it just seemed like he got smaller and smaller. But he was actually growing and he was putting on weight and stuff like that. He was just a small baby. He's just a small baby. He's just a small, preemie baby. His percentile was not going up until, y'all, I had an ultrasound. The last ultrasound I had was the day before they induced me. The day before I got induced, I had my last ultrasound and he had a growth spurt. But even though he had a growth spurt and his percentile went back up, they still were gonna do the inductions. That's the whole process of why I got induced at 37 weeks pregnant. So on to my experience of labor and delivery. So let's get into that. Labor and delivery experience. So the next day after, what was it? I went in Wednesday. I forgot what day it was. It was Wednesday and I was supposed to go to the hospital at 5 a.m. on Wednesday morning. And they called me at 3 a.m. saying that they didn't have any like beds available and stuff like that. So I was just like, okay. So I had got some sleep because I was really just staying up until I went to the hospital and just like that. But they told me not to come in. So I got some sleep and I was getting in contact with them in the morning time and stuff like that. They said they were delayed from the last day from 5 a.m. for labor and deliveries and stuff like that. So I was just like, okay. So I took that time being and stayed here, cleaned up and everything. And I thought, because the woman said that I was going to be coming in probably mainly at nighttime. But she called literally an hour and a half later, said, oh, we have a room ready for you. and I wasn't even ready. I didn't shower. I didn't do none of that. So I physically had to tell her that I'd probably be running a little late because I'm not about to be going to the hospital with no shower, no none of that. So I had to quickly take a shower, like a quick shower. I couldn't wash my hair or do nothing. I just had to do a quick shower, body shower and stuff like that, and get everything into the car because I didn't expect her to call me an hour and a half later from 9 a.m. So yeah, I went into the hospital at 11, and then I didn't get there till like 1, and then I didn't get into my room until 2. So that being said, they gave me a VIP room. They gave me their big rooms, which I kind of love because it was so big and spacious in there. That was that process of the beginning process of me going there. I lay down, changed into my gown and stuff like that. They put the monitors on the baby and stuff like that. Y'all, she had to check my cervix, and to all my girlies that have not been cervix checked or is scared for a cervix check, it's really not that bad. It's very uncomfortable, but it's not that bad, honestly, but it is very uncomfortable. I will say that about that part. But I was not dilated when I went in at all. I was not dilated. So my OBGYN prescribed them this Cytotec. I had to take 4 Cytotecs every 4 hours. So it's like I took one and then I had to wait 4 hours, and I took the other, and then I had to... So I basically got finished taking the Cytotec at 4:30 a.m. on Thursday morning. While I finished doing that, they tried to check my cervix. My OBGYN had came in and he checked my cervix again. He said, oh, you're still not dilated. I'm going to have to dilate you myself. So my cervix at that point was soft because the Cytotec, that's what it's for. It softens your cervix. So he was like, you have 2 options. You have either I can do a balloon method to open you up to 5 centimeters, or we're just going to have to do a C-section. And y'all, I cannot survive no C-section. No. Y'all cannot see me go into that OR and get a C-section, okay? So obviously I chose the balloon method, even though I had to go through that pain, but it's okay. I'd rather go through that pain than have a C-section. I'm not gonna lie. That's just me. That's just my opinion. I don't want a C-section. I don't want to get cut down there. So yeah. I ended up going with the balloons. So he had to take his finger and dilate me to 1 centimeter with his finger. And then he had to press this white thing in me so then they could put the balloons up through there and then fill them up with fluid. Now, this experience is probably one of the most painful. It was so painful, y'all. It was terrible, y'all. It was painful. Okay, it went by in 2 minutes, but it was painful. After I had got the balloons, mind you, I only had 1 meal at this point, and it's like early morning, and I only had 1 meal. Okay, I just had breakfast, which was bacon and a biscuit and some strawberries. Then I had got the epidural after that, because y'all, the contractions, the way the fluid in the ball down there made me feel the contractions got heavier and heavier, and it just like a bunch of pressure down there with the balloon. So I had got the epidural right away because, oh no, I'm not about to be suffering in that bed like that. So yeah, I had got the epidural right away, and I'm gonna give y'all my opinion about epidural because a lot of people are scared of the needle and how long it is. Y'all, you don't even have to worry about how long it is or if it hurts or not, because honestly, I'm gonna give you my opinion, but everybody's different, so everybody has a different pain tolerance and stuff like that. But I'm gonna just give y'all this. One, I was contracting like every 2 to 3 minutes, but honestly, it didn't even feel like they put it in my back while I was contracting. I didn't even feel anything. So one, they put the, I think, lidocaine in your back first. It really just feels like a regular shot. You really don't really feel anything. But once they put that shot in you, and then they put the long needle in to feed the catheter through, I did not feel none of that. It like got done in 2 minutes. It got done in 2 minutes, and she did it really fast, and then my legs started going numb. instantly. The epidural, I would say that pain was a 0 out of 10 because I didn't feel nothing at all. The only thing I was focused on was the balls that were like filled with fluid down there, opening my cervix. So yeah. Next, after I had got the epidural, I forgot to add this part in the epidural. Also, once you get epidural, you're on bed rest. You cannot get up, you cannot do nothing. You're in complete bed rest, and also they put a catheter through your pee hole as well. So basically, you have a catheter taking pee out of your bladder and putting it in a bag. So that's also another part with epidural. You're totally on bed rest and can't get up. When you get the catheter that goes in your bladder so you can pee when you're on bed rest, basically, honestly, you cannot feel the catheter at all, because I have water on my chin. You can't feel that because you already have the epidural, so I did not feel the catheter at all go through into my bladder. So you feel a little pressure when they first put it in, but other than that, you can't really feel it because you have epidural already. I'm just tell all my females that are pregnant now, do not, and I'm gonna tell you right now, do not, if you are a girly that's going to be angry, hangry, just livid, not to be eating at all, don't get the epidural yet. You might have to go through that pain without the epidural before you get the epidural, okay? Because basically they forced my cervix open, but it was just hurting me, so I got the epidural. And mind y'all, I did not eat for 2 days straight. It was almost 2 days straight. I did not eat. It's probably one of the worst things ever. That's the only thing bad about the epidural. You can only drink clear liquids or popsicles. And I constantly had to eat ice the entire time, y'all. I had to eat ice. I do love popsicles, so I was eating a bunch of popsicles, just a bunch of them. I think I ate about 6 popsicles that night. Like 3 cups of ice, and they also give you a little like cup with ice and water. I also had that filled with ice. I feel like the ice of me not eating for 2 days straight and me just basically drinking liquids, and mind y'all, your tummy don't be feeling good either, because that the doctors come in every hour, because they had me on a peanut ball sideways on each side, also to level out the epidural. So because epidural goes gravity, so if you're laying on one side with epidural going through, it's just gonna go numb on that side. So they have to constantly flip you side to side, and then you get to lay on your back. But they mainly had me on a peanut ball. So they had the peanut ball on my ankles, my knees, and then I flipped and they did the same thing on the peanut ball. And then flipping when you have epidural, it's not really comfortable because and it wasn't comfortable for me because I had my cervix being forced open. So whatever was in me and they kept turning me, it wasn't really comfortable at all, like turning, but I had to get myself comfortable. And y'all, mind you, when I got to the hospital, I did not sleep at all, y'all. And when I did close my eyes, I was only asleep for about 10 minutes and I woke back up. Yeah, I totally forgot to add this part into the whole process and stuff like that. You will be shaking. During this process with the epidural and everything in you, your body just shakes, okay? You're constantly just shaking, and that's also why I could never get sleep, because I was constantly just shaking and shaking and shaking. But then also I feel like some of that shaking was coming from the ice, because all I was eating was ice, because my mind was just set on food. When nobody was talking, everybody was asleep, and I was just the only one awake. I would just be thinking about food and me thinking about pushing out the baby. So yes, I had very bad shakes, and that's also why I could not get no sleep. Also, y'all, the shakes go on the entire time you're in labor. Like the entire time you're in labor, you just shake. Especially when you're pushing the baby as well, you just shake. You shake for at least a good hour after labor. Like after everything is out and everything, you shake. But it eventually goes away, y'all. That was my process of the beginnings of it. Okay, y'all, so the storage on my phone just ran out, but I forgot where I left off at. That was like one heck of a night, not gonna lie. But not gonna lie, to all my females with the epidural, I would just wait. Honestly, because if you cannot go 2 days without eating, and then also, let me like make this make sense. So basically, as my opinion, me being a woman and stuff like that, yeah, your bodies mentally are already like prepared. Like, we are super women, like, because I don't even know how I went 2 days without eating, because I eat all the time. I eat about like 4 meals a day. Okay, so I don't even know how I went 2 days without eating. But this is like, your body already knows. Like, your body, I feel like your body just already knows. So it's just like, you don't really focus on the things that we're more like scared about or nervous about. You don't focus on those things, okay? You focus on other things that is processing through your process of labor and delivery. But honestly, I wasn't even focused on being hungry. I was focusing on getting the baby out. That's what I was focused on. I was focusing on getting the baby out. Okay, y'all, so I had to change to the actual camera. So if the video here looks different, I was using my phone, but my phone storage ran out. So I'm going to be using the camera. But I will say to all my girlies, if you cannot go a day or two without food, well, I'm going to tell you right now, if you get epidural, you might have to go a day or two without food. Honestly, I don't know if that's just people getting induced. Like, I don't know if it's just for those people. But honestly, if you can't go a day or two, I would wait for the epidural. Eating ice and eating the popsicles, like just chewing on something constantly, got my mind off food. So to all my girlies that love ice, that love popsicles and stuff like that, go ahead and do that, because I'm gonna tell you, that's where your mind is gonna get off of like you being hungry. Another thing I want to tell y'all, going into labor, we are actually super women. Your body is physically and mentally like prepared for labor. Like, your body is getting prepared for labor. Like, your body knows. So I feel like everything that you would go in to be nervous about, you're not really nervous about it when you're in the process. Well, that was me, and this is my opinion, and I'm giving y'all my story on how my labor and delivery went. So I'm gonna just give y'all my opinion on everything and how I felt and how I went through things. But this is how I'm going through things. Like, I'm really not like nervous. I'm really excited. My main focus right now in my brain is pushing this baby out, is trying to get this baby out. I'm not even focused or really worried about the cervix checks, what's in me, like the pain or none of that. Now, see, the pain, when that epidural, when you need extra, go ahead and get that extra epidural. And I'm gonna tell you now, because when the pressure starts to get real and they start to put more Pitocin in you, the contractions get stronger and you have more pressure down there while your pelvic area is expanding and the baby is moving down. So I'm gonna just tell you, like, the pain is real. It feels like a sharp pain in your butthole. Not gonna lie. Yeah, it does. It feels like a sharp pain down there. It feels like you have to shit. During that night, y'all, they had end up taking the balloons out. The morning, I think it was the night of going into Friday. Yeah, it was the night of going into Friday. They had took the balloons out, and then my mucus plug came out with the balloons. So it expanded me all the way to 5 centimeters. That being said, my mucus plug came out with it, and then after they had took that out, it just kept going, and then my water broke. Like, it was just a fast process right when they took the balloons out. So at 5 centimeters, when they took it out, everything just broke. Mucus plug came out, water broke, and so on and so forth. During that night, I just kept leaking and leaking and leaking through the entire night. And then I ended up having to get a cervix check, I think it was around 2 or 3 or something like that, Friday morning. And then I had dilated to like 6, 7 centimeters. They were like saying I was in the 7 centimeters area. When I tell y'all, I was stuck at 6 to 7 centimeters from literally 2:30 a.m. Friday morning all the way to freaking 1:30 in the afternoon. And yeah, y'all, it was a process through then, and that's when I felt the most pressure. When you get down to your last centimeters, oh my gosh, there's so much pressure. And also, the doctors came in when they service checked me. They said my pelvis was very narrow, and that kind of got me scared because I thought,
y'all, what's good? Y'all know it's K.
anyways, that got me nervous when they said my pelvis was narrow. So I was like kind of scared, like, oh, can the baby come out of me, or will I need a C-section and stuff like that? But I didn't. Once they took the balloons out of me, the process went so fast. I was eating a bunch of ice, I was eating ice cream, I had a bunch of pressure down there. During the morning, I did get a little bit of sleep. I think I got an hour of sleep, honestly. I'm just gonna say this, time rolled on through the morning and like lunchtime of Friday. To the point where I was dilating more and more. They didn't want to do cervix checks because if they do a lot of cervix checks, you can get an infection that way. And they didn't want to give me an infection, so they didn't want to do so many cervix checks and stuff like that. Also, I will say that morning around like 8, 10, I think it was like 8 or 10, so somewhere around in the morning time of Friday, they had another doctor come in, like an OBGYN, and they had to pop more fluid around the baby's head because there was more fluid, more amniotic fluid that built up around baby's head. So he had to pop it and have the rest of the fluid come out. And that's when I kind of started that process Friday morning. It started getting a little bit more pressure throughout the day. And it felt like I had to poop, like honestly. And the doctors were not listening to me. Like they said, oh, well, just press the button for more epidural if you need it, if you need to get that pain, because epidural, you should not be feeling anything. You should not be feeling pain. You can feel pressure, but you should not be feeling pain. Oh, well, I felt pain, okay? It felt like my pelvis was opening, like honestly. It hurt. And y'all, mind you, this was around like 1 o'clock, 1:30, 1:30 in the afternoon. This had to have been because I remember Friday morning, I was more comfortable. Once my water broke and everything, the process started going, get more pressure. I will say I did get more sleep than I did at the beginning of the process. So I will say Friday I got more sleep. So this is like, I know this might be all over the place of Friday morning, because Friday morning I actually got some rest. I actually got some sleep and stuff like that before the baby came. I had woke up around 1:30. My OBGYN came, just checked on me a little bit. He didn't want to do a cervix check since they already had did it that morning. But just coming and check on me. And then the other nurses had came in to just flip me and see if I wanted to get moved around, and I did. I kept telling the doctors, I feel pressure, I feel pain, it feels like I have to poop, like, and then they walked out. Like, they didn't walk out, like, they were trying to make sure I was okay and stuff like that, but I was just like, okay. And then they said, well, we're kind of just monitoring the baby and you, because we know when the baby is trying to come out, because I guess the computer up there, it like tells you, like, they know like when the baby's movement is like starting to like push, like actually the baby's trying to come out and stuff like that. Like they can see those type things on the computer and stuff like that. And they said if it feels like you have to poop or you have pain, it's probably like the baby coming out. You'll know, and then you'll get nauseous. Now, mind y'all, I did get a little nauseous because, mind you, it's almost 2 days where I have not ate at all. Because I had got the epidural like the morning of Thursday. Early morning Thursday before Friday. Like it felt like I was going like a whole 2 days without food. More pressure and everything, and then they had walked down. They said it's kind of normal, just put more epidural on me. They told me just to put more epidural on me. So I did, and then the pressure was still not going away. and the baby started getting more active. I don't know how they didn't see the baby getting active on the screen, but he was. Like, I felt him moving down, like, and I was trying to tell them that. And they're like, well, we'll come check back on you in like about 30-40 minutes and see how you're doing. So they left, and then like 20 minutes went by, and it's like 2 o'clock. And I'm like, okay, y'all need to stay in here with me. I had to call them back because I'm like, I feel pressure. Like, it feels like I have to poop. Like, it feels like I have to poop. But they were just trying to comfort me, trying to have me talk and stuff like that. And I'm over here repeating myself, like, I feel pressure. He's moving. Like, I feel him moving down. And y'all, I don't know how many times I repeated myself. But I'm so glad, God blessing, that my OBGYN came in there to check me, and he barely went in, like this much, and the baby's head was right there. The baby was coming out of me. Like, I'm over here trying to tell them that. Like, I know I was getting the cervix checked that day, but oh my God, I was trying to tell them. I felt pressure and it felt like I had to poop. And I was also getting nauseous. Like what she said, you get nauseous. Like, you'll know when when your baby's coming out. And I'm trying to tell her I felt nauseous, but it keeps coming in and out. Like, I get nauseous, but then I don't. But then I feel pressure. And oh my gosh, I'm not listening to me. Yeah, thank God. Thank God, thank the Lord. Now my OBGYN came in there and barely even stuck his fingers up there. His head was right there. His head was right there. He was making his way out. Then they got me in position. We did a couple practice pushes and stuff like that. And y'all, I pushed him out in 3 minutes. So yeah, that was a quick labor process, like of pushing him out. It was quick and easy, y'all. I'm telling y'all, I was scared the whole time because some of the nurses, the new nurses, the night nurses, the morning nurses was telling me that people that get induced, usually it takes like an hour to 2 hours to actually like push out the baby. And I'm over here like, what? No, it took me 3 minutes to push him out, and my beautiful, beautiful, handsome baby boy came out in 3 minutes. And then after I had him, I did skin to skin. Okay, was like very emotional. He was so happy, and I was so happy. I was crying because it was just like a miracle to me. Like, this is real. I just had a baby. It was just like an exciting moment. Now, here comes the worst part, y'all. When you give birth, they immediately shut off everything. The epidural. Oh Lord, when I tell you the back pain is severe. Oh my God. I think when I was pushing, I done strained so many muscles in my lower back. When they took that epidural out, y'all, oh my God, I was screaming in pain. Like, I was crying, I was screaming in pain until, like, they have to actually call pharmacy and get meds and then put the meds that they gave to me in the system before they can give me meds. So I sat there for a whole 30 minutes crying and screaming because my lower back actually felt like it was ripping. Like, it felt like it was ripping when they turned that epidural off. But I had got Motrin, Tylenol, and then it started to work in about 15-20 minutes. It started to work, but Lord, chat, my back was in severe pain. Now, see, that was probably the worst pain out of the whole entire experience. I'm not gonna lie. That was probably the most worst pain out of the entire labor and delivery process because, whoa, I must have strained a bunch of muscles back there because that hurt. Honestly, throughout the labor and delivery process, I would say the 2 days went by really fast. It went by really fast, y'all. I know me saying I didn't eat for 2 days straight is because I had only one meal Wednesday. And also after labor, since I didn't eat for so long, I didn't want to eat my Subway. Yes, I got 2-foot-longs. My grandmother threw one of them away since it was already open, and then I had another one in there. But it's okay. I had my Subway. I ate it when I eventually got to the postpartum room. Because I could not eat in the room that I was in. My stomach was just too empty. It was too empty. I didn't want to eat. So that's why I'm saying I went 2 days. It was literally almost 2 days. Like, literally. I wouldn't say the labor and delivery process is like to be nervous about. Because honestly, your body as being a woman is mentally prepared and stuff like that. But I also just wanted to give y'all an experience of how I felt and how my labor and delivery went. So this is this video. And I hope y'all like this video. I hope this helps or just like makes some of y'all like unnervous, maybe more excited maybe, because you're mainly just really focused on pushing the baby out and having the baby for real. That's how I was. I was mainly just so excited. I kept my mindset on positive and excitement and just pushing out the baby, and the time went really fast. I had him at 2:30 on Friday, August the 14th. So it went by really fast, y'all. I'm not gonna say it was like a terrible labor and delivery, because it wasn't. I would say mine wasn't terrible because I had epidural, so I didn't really feel nothing at the whole time. I did not. To all my girlies that don't want to go through that pain and that contraction pain, because the contractions are painful, okay? If y'all don't want to go through that pain, get the epidural. Get the epidural. Don't be shy to ask for meds or to ask for something. The hospital will give it to you, okay? If you need something, they will go get it for you. Don't be scared to ask, y'all. Like, they have everything. The hospital provides everything. They provide everything for your baby and everything for you at postpartum. And if you need more of it, take it. They go get you it and just take it. Like, they'll provide you with it. I hope y'all liked this video, and I hope it helped y'all out. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe on this video. Make sure you turn them notifications on, and I love y'all.